Come on. Come on. Good morning. I am making the climb up out of Dix Creek Gap. Stayed at Stanwell's hostel last night. A very nice day. Today, the goal is to do 12 miles to the Muskrat Creek shelter, but it's almost entirely all uphill today, and I got a little bit of a later start coming out of the hostel, so we'll see if I get that far. From what I've been told, not only is it mostly uphill today, but a lot of it is steep, so I'll let you know how far I get. My other limiting factor today is that I just resupplied and I've got food for the next 4 days, so my pack is a little heavier. But despite the grueling climb today, there's some good things. Give me a minute. I know it's not supposed to rain or thunderstorm today. Shouldn't be any snow, although I'm not sure what there might still be when I get up into the mountains. But it's not supposed to snow again. It's supposed to warm up. It's pretty cold right now, but I think it might get into the 40s today. So that's good. And the sun is shining. This is called rime ice. It's really pretty. It forms when you have cold and wind. The moisture is turned into these long threads. Made it to the top of my first big climb for the day. But not my last. This is one way you know how cold it is outside. Look at the poor droopy rhododendrons. I sat for a little while and had lunch at Blue Ridge Gap. There was a nice log there, kind of carved into a bench almost. And now we're continuing up, and I just stopped to lay her down. Really? Trail goes up there. Do you remember the other day when I said I preferred to climb up out of Unicoi Gap in both directions rather than down? Yeah, not so much today. But one of the things that kept me going up all these hills today is that I know I hit a major milestone. The North Carolina-Georgia border. Yay! I finished Georgia. Thank you to Stan the Man for all the slack packing he helped me with, and for Detour for letting me stay in her beautiful home. On to North Carolina. It's one crazy tree. All right, so I considered camping at Bly Gap near that crazy tree. I've got more uphill if I move on to the next shelter, and it gets a whole lot steeper, and I've got about 3 miles more to go. But it's only about 2:30, so I'm going to keep trudging on and tackle these hills even if I have to do them slowly. They're not kidding about steep. Still climbing. The trail goes way up there. So this is how they welcome people to North Carolina. Not with a cup of tea and a cookie, but with their steepest mountains. It's almost like they want you to earn the right to hike in their state. Climbing way up there. Yesterday I had to deal with snow and some ice on the trail. Today, there's still snow up in the mountains, but some of it is melting because it actually did break above freezing today. But the melting snow is creating mud, which is really slippery, and I'm slip sliding all over the place in the mud. Well, that's inconvenient. Can't climb over that. It's gonna be tricky going under it. Looks like some people went around it. I made it successfully up and around it, but it might not have been the smartest choice because the mud was so slippery. I kept losing my footing. I stayed on my feet, but it was not easy. And I needed the help of a few trees along the way. I made it to camp at Muskrat Creek Shelter. It's very crowded here tonight. Almost couldn't find a spot to put my tent. All right, this is my campsite. And up there's the shelter. Long day. I'm tired. It's getting cold out. I'm going to snuggle up in my down quilt. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Good morning. I'm just leaving camp. It's later than I wanted. It's almost 8:30. I was having a hard time getting my gear back into my backpack. Go figure. It seems fuller now than when I pulled into camp. And yet I ate dinner, I ate breakfast, I pulled out my lunch and snacks for today. There should be less stuff in my backpack. I can't figure out why it wasn't fitting properly. It was cold last night. It was below freezing, probably in the mid-20s. So I slept with my electronics, I slept with my water filter so it wouldn't freeze. I even put my clothing in the bottom of my quilt so that it wouldn't be ice cold to put on this morning. But I am moving. My plan for today is 12.5 miles. So my navigation app will show me elevation change, so I know when I'm going to have climbs, steep climbs, descents. But elevation change isn't the whole picture when you're hiking. Trail surface makes a big difference. This morning when I left camp, the trail was very kind of cruisy, level, nothing in the way in the trail. Then I hit the rhododendron tunnels, which are beautiful. I love going through those rhododendron growth areas. But they tend to create a lot of shade. And so the snow that is still up here just has, come off the trail in most sections, is still on the trail and kind of icy, and it's much colder going through those rhododendron tunnels. Then I hit a section that was full of rocks and roots, and that also slows you down a little bit because you have to be careful to step over things and not trip on things. So your gait, your groove when you're hiking is very much affected by what's actually in the trail in front of you and what you have to step over and around. And that, I don't know until I get there. I can't see that on the app. Okay, this is Deep Gap parking area. Well, where'd you come from? I'm up on Standing Indian Mountain. That's the top of the biggest climb for today. And I'm stopping for some lunch. Today's lunch is mushroom jerky and dried apricots. That dog was very interested in my lunch. As soon as I sat down and took it out, he got right up in my face. So now that I've crossed over into North Carolina, how did I feel about Georgia? Well, my experience is probably a little bit different than that of a lot of other people. Let's start with the common. Georgia is not flat. Lots of mountains in Georgia. There were two sections that were kind of gentle and cruisy. The first day, I found that to be kind of a gentle hike. And the section between Hogpen Gap and Unicoi Gap, after you take out the steep section at Unicoi. But there were a good number of really cruisy miles in that section. What made my experience different is, first of all, my friend Stan slack-packed me for a number of days through Georgia. Day one was a slack pack because I went back to the hotel with my husband. Oops, log to climb over. And then days 2, 3, 4, and 5, Stan slack packed me. So on days 2, 3, 4, and 5, I also stayed at Detour's house. So I didn't have to camp or set up my tent then either. On day 6, it wasn't a slack pack. I had my full pack. But I was ending at Stanimals Hostel, which was part of my original plan from the beginning. So I didn't have to set up my tent that day either. So somehow I managed to get through Georgia mostly slack packing and never having to have set up my tent at any of the campsites. So that's different than most people's experience. I also had some crazy weather between the snow and the thunderstorms and the bitter, bitter cold. The day that the wind chill was in the single digits, I was worried about frostbite that day. I will, however, give kudos to the trail maintenance crew in Georgia. They do a wonderful job. Over there. Maybe I'll put the camera away. I made it to the Carter Gap shelter. It's very crowded. I'm in the middle of the bubble, so lots of people all fighting for shelter spaces and tent spaces. I got an okay tent spot. I'm slow, so being the last one to camp usually means I'm not going to get my pick of the best spots. But that's okay. Right now I'm taking the trail down to the water so I can fill up my water. And it's a pretty steep trail down to the water. All right, that's my spot. But there's lots and lots of tents everywhere.
Like you did give me a little extra boost on that last extra 3 miles.
And then the shelter is up that way. The dog is still with us. I got out of camp before sunrise. That's good. And more than an hour earlier than I did yesterday. So I'll get into a rhythm. My goal for today is 12 miles to Rock Gap Shelter. And if all goes as planned, I hit another major milestone today. I always find this a little unnerving. So I am heading northbound on the trail from Georgia to Maine. And right now the sun is coming up and it's over here to my left. And the sun comes up in the east, which means right now I'm walking south. And it always makes me want to check my navigation, make sure I'm going the right way on the trail. But I know that the trail is not a straight line south to north. It winds in and around mountains, and that's where I am right now. I'm on a part of the trail that's going south to get around another piece of mountain.
going? And he's just like, no answer. Like, he does speak. What? Yeah, I know. Where are we going?
Trail magic.
Yeah.
All right, that's where I'm headed. That's the top of Albert Mountain. I can't really film and climb at the same time, but this gives you an idea. I can see why there's a bad weather bypass. Wow. Almost there. Whoa. All right. Albert Mountain Fire Tower. And the 100-mile mark. I did 100 miles. I am not going to climb the fire tower. But we've got beautiful views out this way. I can see everything from right here. I'm gonna sit here and have some lunch. Well, after that insane climb up, the trail gods have given me a beautiful trail on the other side. Well, I just took a wrong turn. Now I have to go back. Sadly, going back is uphill. I continued straight that way. I should have turned and gone this way. Back on course. Now the trail follows the river. Pretty. There we go, there's the trail. Alright, this is Rock Gap Shelter. Got a lot of tents here today. And I'm set up right here, down the other side of the shelter. Okay, so got all my camp chores done, had some dinner, had chili for dinner tonight, and tomorrow I have a short day, approximately 4 miles, into Franklin, North Carolina, where I'm going to resupply. Good morning. I am just leaving Rock Gap Shelter, and I'm heading over to Winding Stair Gap, where I have a shuttle that's going to pick me up and take me into Franklin. And I have a spot at the Grove Hostel tonight. I only have about 3.8 miles to do this morning, and I just have to get there by 11:30. So I can take a nice leisurely pace this morning. This is Winding Stair Gap. This is Main Street in Franklin. Outdoor 76, which I will stop in after we eat.